Okay, I'm gonna try to finish up the what did I just stop when the dogs started acting up. Try to finish that one up and maybe say a little bit more about something else. But I was talking about on the one right previous to this about me fixing up a '55 Chevrolet truck to go to the tip of South America, and I was talking about finishing that rear end up. I was trying to fix, had a little wine in it when you get up going 40, 50 miles an hour. And I wanted to take that wine out of it, but I'd never been in a rear end before, so anyway, it didn't turn out too well later on. But while I'm thinking about it, there was one thing of these I had, one of these things that I made, that I was talking about some dudes up on Second Avenue, and let me get off of the truck for just a minute, because I thought of some names of some of the guys that hung around up there on Second Avenue. And one of the boys that they was called Red Simons, and he was a kid. I remember what he looks like, but I can't remember a lot about him. There was another kid called Charles McKinney. Now, he had lost his right hand on one of these trucks that come around that delivers ice to a house. This guy that had that thing, he had one of these chipping things on the back of it that ground ice up. And Charles McKinney, when he was a little kid, they tell me, this is all what they tell me, they said that he put his hand down there to get a piece of ice, and he lost his right hand. But anyway, that was two of the kids that I remember there. But also I was talking about, one time I was talking about when I was sitting in an ice cream shop up there on Second Avenue, about this Charles Sandlin walk in and hit the kid right next to me. And the name of that shop was Callan's Ice Cream Shop. I thought I'd just mention that. But anyway, let's go back to the getting the truck ready to go to South America. Oh my goodness! Well, anyway, I got it all spiffied up, and boy, I'm telling you, went to the bank, doled out some money, and I got me some changes of clothes, and I had it all fixed up in back there, where I even had me a little heater thing where I could heat me some food up on the way I take it. I figured I'd get outside my truck on the way down there, and I wouldn't have enough money to eat in these cafes and things, so I'd buy me some stuff and heat it up outside. But I had it all fixed up. I had it planned out. I knew exactly what I was going to do. Oh boy, it comes time to pack up and go. So it was just about dark when I left Dallas, and I got out, and I can't think of the name of the highway that heads down through Waco all the way down to Mexico, going into Mexico down there. I can't remember. I had it all planned out on some maps anyway, but I was heading to Waco, and I got about 50, 60 miles out of Dallas. And that rear end locked up that I'd been working on. Another one of my famous jobs. I've been working on something I didn't know nothing about. And evidently I'd adjusted that thing too tight because it locked up on the highway. Now there's a lot to be said about that. When that thing locked up, it jerked the drive shaft. That's one of the things I couldn't think of on our earlier report, the name of that thing. It went from the transmission back to the rear end. They called it a drive shaft. It jerked the drive shaft out of the transmission. It hit the deck. It went over the side. The back tire went over that. It went over that drive shaft. The rear end went up in the air about, 3 or 4 foot in the air. Threw me up in the top. The thing come back down, and Lord of mercy, the transmission fell out of the thing. All over the road. There was parts laying everywhere. And the thing was still going, so I got it off the road. But I had all kinds of parts laying out in the middle of that darn highway, And here it is. I ain't got one thing I forgot to bring was a flashlight. I was out there in the middle of that road trying to throw all that stuff off the road. Here come a car. Thank God they wasn't going very fast, and they saw me, and they turned their blinking lights on. They got out, and and I was kind of dazed. I didn't know what to. I was kind of standing there. And I remember one of them guys walking up to me, and he started cussing at me and said, "Help me get this stuff off the highway, you darn idiot!" And he was talking to me, you know. I finally kind of come to two and realized what had happened, and we got all the stuff off the highway, you know. Oh Lordy, I don't remember how I got. I don't remember how I got. I got a one of these record deals. I got one of these record deals. Type of people to carry that to hang. Got all my parts and stuff, and he lifted my truck up, and he carried me and that truck back to Dallas. Oh my goodness, that ended my trip to South America. I didn't even get as far as Waco. I know a lot of you people, anybody that reads this probably don't know where Waco is. I think it's about 100 miles south of Dallas. I'm not sure. Boy, that trip to South America, it ended in a big hurry. You know, another one of my schemes, boy. I was going to have me a big time. What I figured on doing, I wanted to go to South America because I could run over and play in the Pacific Ocean, then I could get in my truck and I'd run back over and play in the Atlantic Ocean. I thought, boy, that would be something to tell the folks back home, you know. But and that wasn't to be. Anyway, I had me a good time. What the heck? I had a lot of fun fixing that old truck up. And I never had I was lucky, I guess, that I didn't get hurt or something. That God, that could have happened somewhere where it could have really caused a lot of trouble, you know, if somebody had been right behind me going 70 to 80 miles an hour when all that come about, it could have really hurt some people, you know. So some of my harebrained schemes, oh Lordy. But I want to tell you, you know, I got a little time left on this, and so I'm going to tell you about the house that I built out on the farm. When I got out there, I don't know if any of you folks know anything about digging wells and things out on farmland, you know, but they got a thing they call a sand point. Now you can drive that down into the ground, and if you can drive it far enough to get to where the water is, you can put a pump on top of it and pump the water out. But all you got is about a 3-inch pipe. Well, I decided I wanted me a better well than that, so I decided I was going to dig me a well, you know. So I bought me some of these culvert things like they got on the side of the street. They build roads over and stuff, and that water go underneath them. They're about 3 foot across, I guess. Anyway, I pulled one up there and put it on top of the ground, and I got inside of it and I started digging. Started throwing the dirt out. Of course, when I got down pretty far down in there, I couldn't just go down there and fill a bucket full and come up and dump it out, man. That'd take forever. So what I did was I made me a ladder to go down in that thing, and I hooked it over the side of those 3 foot. I only had 3 foot to work with. But I put that ladder there, and then I hooked me up 2 ropes and up the top, and I made me all kinds of gadgets up there at the top where I could lift the bucket up, then I could take the other rope and pull it over the side and dump it. Then I could pull the other rope and let it back down again. I can't even go to start to tell you how all that worked, but it worked, by gosh. I went down 20 feet in the ground. Lord have mercy, it was the dumbest and the stupidest thing that I could have ever done. You ain't going, I mean, I'd have to be a complete idiot to have done something like that. See, as I would dig down 3 foot, I'd go buy me another culvert and I'd roll it over and stick it on top of the one that was down level with the ground. And I kept doing that till I got down to 5 foot of water. In other words, the water was taller than I was, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty of water, you know, because that was going to be my home. I planned to live there the rest of my life, you know, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty of water. But I can't believe it. You have no idea what it's like to be at the bottom of a 20-foot well with only those culverts only 3 foot wide. Whenever you dig out from under 4 or 5 inches, the bottom one would drop, and the rest of them wouldn't all come down together. And one at a time they would drop, you know, and you sit there and you're looking at that thing, and I think, I can't believe I did that. I would love to sit here and tell you I had more sense to do something like that, but I can't because I actually did that. God, I remember I used to sit there, and when them things would, because they would come down one or two at a time. You know, they wouldn't all come down at once. They'd come down about 5 or 6 inches, and it would make a little noise, you know, as it did. And then you could watch them. You could look up, and you could watch them as they come down one at a time. Good God Almighty! I can't sit here and believe that I was dumb enough to do that, let alone dumb enough to tell you what I did. I should have just kept my mouth shut. Now, you know, God. Oh, if somebody told me they'd done something like that, I'd tell you the craziest darn fool I ever talked to. But our God is my witness, I did that. Oh, my goodness. Lord have mercy, I can't believe that I was that dumb, you know. But I did it. I sure did. Because I wanted me some water. I built, that was my house. I owned it. And by gosh, I wanted me plenty of water. And there was no city water, you know, out there on that farm, you know. Oh, Lord have mercy. I think back about that, and I just really don't know what to think. I sometimes think I must have been some kind of darn nut, you know. Oh, I just had to think about something else. I was telling you that I built another house down at Cedar Creek, and the Cedar Creek Lake was on. It was right on Cedar Creek Lake. This was my sister's house where she lived. She was on a little spur, I guess they called it off. She actually could get to the lake on that little spur she had, but she didn't live right on the lake. The house that I built was right on the lake, you know, and it was in a subdivision called, I finally remembered that. I couldn't remember that the last time we was talking about it, but I finally remembered it was named Enchanted Oaks. And that's another story. We'll have to talk about that later. You know, I got sued, and I lost that house too. I built 2 houses in my life. Darn if I didn't lose both of them. And both of them's on account of my sister-in-law. Lord have mercy. Well, the first one wasn't on account of my sister-in-law. The first one was that my father promised to give me a lot there where I built my first house, but he died before he ever did. And then I lived in it, and I tell you the truth, I just plumb forgot that I didn't own the lot. And then my mother died, and I didn't think to ask her to give me the lot. And then I wound up with the house I built that was sitting on my father's farm. And my sister was, when my mother died, my sister became the custodian of the property, and my sister-in-law sued. She sued my sister. That's another story I'll get into. Suffice it to say that I lost that farm because I didn't have no deed to the property that it was sitting on. So all that 5 years worth of work, all that stuff I did, I lost. You know, I lost that house. And I'll also tell you about the one I built down at Cedar Creek. I lost that one too, but that's another story I'll catch some other time. But you just, but you'd think that all that to hell, I'm going to have to let this one go here. I'll talk about it later.